Now the next question for my next guest is whether any of this is legal. Seth Berenzweig joins us right now, business law attorney extraordinaire. Seth, leaving aside the hassle factor for businesses now that have to prove that customers and those in the store are vaccinated, they're going to be fined if it's shown that they're not, or they're not asking the right questions, and then they have to show a log to say that they've been consistently doing this. Is that legal?
Well, it is. I think that the federal courts have been very consistent, including the Supreme Court, that this is legal. And, you know, what's really so interesting about this spot that you just had and chatting with this gentleman is that it not only highlights the difficulty and the burdens on American business as to dealing with things related to interactions with customers, but as we know, within the last couple of days, the White House has issued landmark a new direction for OSHA to issue new regulations as it relates to HR and workforce management. Now, the White House has put American business further on the hot seat by putting them on the front lines to make sure that for companies with over 100 employees, that they are required under monetary penalty if they don't comply to have employees vaccinated. Even though the regulations will be out in about 45 days, it's critical that employers recognize that they have to get started on this right away. They need to start canvassing their employees. They need to start getting attestations of whether people are vaccinated. They need to see whether there are religious or disability exemptions. And the problem with this, which is consistent with your discussion a moment ago, is that this is happening in a situation where the regulations themselves aren't even published yet. So there's a lot of burden on American business in all respects. They don't have legal recourse, and it's something that they have to follow. It's absolutely mandatory, Neil.
You know, I'm not a lawyer like you, Seth, but I think I qualify because I watch a lot of legal shows, so I think I'm an expert like you. But the one thing that strikes me here is I'm wondering if the administration knows that if this went up to higher courts, even all the way to the Supreme Court, it wouldn't cut it. That this would be a stretch and a venture too far, but that the thinking at the White House is that in the process, more people are getting vaccinated and the problem is solved. What do you think of that?
Well, I think you're right that it definitely is going to strike legal issues, and there will be a tsunami of litigation around the corner over the coming weeks attacking these regulations. But I believe at the end of the day that the courts are probably going to conclude that this is lawful and enforceable. So, for example, although OSHA is going to be enforcing these regulations, and this is really a new frontier, at the end of the day, I believe that agencies are given substantial deference, and they're probably going to be upheld. So these regulations will ultimately be deemed enforceable, and it's going to be strictly enforced. But the good news, Neil, is that American business has the feds at their back. So in other words, the Supreme Court, the EEOC, the Justice Department have said that they're going to protect employers. There's going to be very little and probably zero liability exposure, provided that these are launched in a correct and appropriate manner.
Doesn't look like they are, right? I mean, multiple inspectors who come the same day to a restaurant, you know, $1,000 fines each time something is amiss. True. A big, chain like Applebee's might be able to deal with that, but a mom and pop diner or, a local concern, I don't know. But we'll see, Seth, where it goes. Seth Berenzweig, business law attorney.